Yeah, boss. So, talk about, when you have to separate, you know, work, home life, personal trials and tribulations.
So I think we almost live like triple lives. Military, even in, and just somebody working as a police officer. You got to be able to go. When I go to work, I'm this person. This is what I do at work. This is how I operate at work. Whether I show emotion or not, this is me. When I go home, I'm dealing with wife. I'm this person. I'm husband. I love you. Blah blah blah. We spend time. We're making decisions together. When I'm with the kids, I'm another person. I can't treat my kids like I treat my wife, like I treat my work. It's different. I treat the kids differently. Hey, how you doing today? How was school? Oh, I love you, hugs. All right, let's go play some ball in the yard. Let's do that. You that person. So I feel like in life we separate. We have these different roles we play. And I think in the military they teach us to better than any place how to just compartmentalize those positions. So at work, I can see my best buddy lose his life. Now I'll probably be messed up from that, but when I go home, I can't bring that home. So then I'm a different person. I go home and I may tell my wife, might not, but I'm just dealing with my wife. I'm dealing with my kids. Can't bring that home and tell my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a different me interacting with them. Now theoretically, I would go get help, therapy to deal with what I saw, and that's happened to me. You know what I'm saying? That happened in real life. Like I lost a person out to sea, and that messed me up pretty bad. I didn't tell my wife for like 4 or 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So she had no idea. She knew something was wrong.
Right.
But I didn't tell her. And the way I interact with her was not the same we do at work. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So but that's I think in 2020, a lot of people have like they do that in 2020. Like everything that's been happening in 2020, we compartmentalize. Like COVID-19 goes over here. Lost my job over here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to separate because you put it all in one big block and you take that all at once. Woo!
That's a lot.
I gotta be at work, but I gotta take care of my kids in the house. Fortunately, my wife was a stay-at-home mom, so she's able to stay home and take care of the kids. She's going to college too, but she's able to stay home and take care of the kids, and at the same time, I can be the breadwinner and get the money. But what about that family that depended on that second paycheck? You can't take that on the kids. You can't be in the kids like, oh, now I got to deal with you, and I'm supposed to be working. You know what I'm saying? You compartmentalize. Okay, this is what I got going on. I'll figure it out, but I'm going to deal with the kids and make sure they're straight and get them through school. So I think we do that a lot in life, and right now more than ever.
No. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a whole other ball game, right? But nah, man, I agree with you. And it just really made me think about my personal, right? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, how do I do it? How do I manage it?
Yeah.
Right? And like if someone was to ask me what are the tips, what are the tricks? What would you give them? Because I'm thinking about my situation now, and I'm like, I don't know, because I've bumped my head or I failed on it so many times. There's moments where like I come home and I'm frustrated from the day, and I'm spreading it out to my family. Like I'm not giving them the 110% of me that I go to my clients and I'm boom, 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 energy rocking and rolling. By the time I get home, some days I'm drained.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm shorting them. You know what I'm saying? But they're my why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're why I do what I do. So like, what would be the advice you give to somebody? Because I mean, I struggle with that, right? And so I'm trying to think of what could I give them, or what could I tell you all to help? And it's like, taking it a day at a time, really understanding that you potentially have the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's real, right? Anything you're not going to accept to say, hey, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that for me, that'd be the number one step. Like, all right, understanding you got an issue. So what would be your advice to say how to fix that?
So I'm an advocate of like getting therapy.
Okay.
And I remember because I've been to a therapist, and at the end of the therapy, I'm like, well, where do we go from here? Like I'm good. I'm back on my feet.
Right.
I'm good to go. She goes, well, your friends, your people that you talk to, and you have those conversations with, you go with them. You meet with those people, and you talk to them, and you kind of like voice your opinion with them, and you get it out in the open, and you process it. You come to see me when it's that cup is, I call it a cup, right? Everybody has a cup, and you get so much stuff put in there. You got bills, you got car payment, like you got things that you got to process. My kid just got hurt, or somebody has to spend in school, or the wife lost her job. Your cup just start getting stuff put in there, and you got to take those things out and go talk to a friend and figure them out, or sit down and write them down and figure them out. But the more you let that cup fill up, it starts overflowing. And then that's how you start stressing out, and it's like too much, it's getting heavy, and now you're not doing anything. Now the cup just constantly more stuff getting put in there. And life is just full of that. You know what I'm saying? You lose a parent tomorrow, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but if you process everything in there, when that come, which it can come, it's gonna come, you be like, all right, cool. I got room, I got time, and I got room to be able to handle that. So I think that's what we got to do. Go get help. And most times, but you don't even know you need help sometimes. That's why you need those close friends.
That's deep. That's deep right there.
You need those close people. When somebody says something's wrong, you should stop and be like, is there something wrong? And talk to them about it and figure out what that is, because that's your first warning shot right there. Right. Your friends, your family pointing out something might be wrong. And from there, you go in to figure it out. But if you ignore that, which I've done, it's going to get worse. And then it's gonna turn dark, and that's when you start breaking down.
Nah, I agree completely, and I say these because, man, I've never went to see a therapist, but I probably need to go see one. You know what I mean? Like, just on some real, like, just being able to let all my stressors, all my worries, kind of put them on the table. Because I mean, for me, you know, I think about my upbringing, right? You know, I've put it behind me for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never really process it. I'm just like, hey, listen, I just gotta push through. Like, I always say I can't go back to that. You know what I'm saying? But I've never really addressed everything I've been through, right? All the trauma, all the good and bad times. You know what I mean? And so just listen to that. I'm like, man,
get it off your shoulders.
You know what I mean?
Get it out the cup, because it's gonna keep coming.
Yeah, and if it was something that I'd give to people, is like, listen, like, take your problems on, like, address them. You know, get the help that you need, because I know I'm going to now. You know what I mean? Just being real, like, just being transparent with people. Like, I got demons I got to battle. You know what I'm saying? That I got to address. And I think this is the perfect platform for people to for us to show people, like, hey, listen, no matter where you're at, right? People may see me and be like, man, bud, you killing it. You doing a great job, right? Which, cool, I may be doing a good job on this end, but there's other aspects of my life that I got to address. I got to address those things firsthand, because if I'm not my best self, how can I give anybody?
Or it's going to start going down.
Yeah, you start going down, man. And like I said, that's deep. And I think about it all the time, because as I get older and as I see my boys grow, and I'm trying to groom them to be I want them to be the perfect men, right? They're not going to be perfect. The best
be version. The best of them.
Exactly, right? I'm like, where I know I have a weak point is like addressing like my downfalls. From example, like, listen, you got some trauma over here you need to address, right? I'm like, hey, you got to stand up, chest up, head, chin up, and go forward. You know, when in theory, it's like, when you need to take a knee, you need to take a knee and call for help. So
because I mean, like, ultimately, who you are today is based on all of that.
Facts.
Like, everything you do now is based on everything you've been through. Now, you'll see somebody go through something, be like, oh, he missed let's say he missed a payment, right? He missed a payment on his car. And he just break down the tears, he shut down, life is over, right? But you'd be like, I'll figure it out.
Right.
Why do you think you did that?
Because I always look at it like, I've been through worse.
Exactly. So, I mean, little black kids growing up, they've been through worse.
Right.
So when they getting yelled at and things are going wrong, they're like, I done been through worse. But you see them kids where they just be struggling, like, that's easy. That's not that hard, bro. I done been through, like, that's pre-K stuff.
Right, yeah. But
in their mind, this is the first time they've experienced something so hard, type of hardship. But with all those things you've gone through to be stronger than them, it can also bring you down as quick.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It may take longer, and you may reach the higher point of that hill. But when you reach it, it's gonna be,
your fall gonna be big. Yeah, no.
So it's better to process what that is. And like I said, and it's simple, maybe talking to a friend about it. But if it's so powerful that you don't want to talk to, like, you don't feel comfortable talk to a family or a friend about it, then going to see a therapist, somebody that may not know your livelihood or be willing to. I mean, maybe somehow it gets out, your business get out there and getting it out. Because once you get out, you like realize, like, that's not my fault, or I can do this to deal with it, or there's nothing I can do with it but let it go and just let it go.
Right.
Because there's nothing you can do.
Right. And believe it or not, you know, as we discuss it, I think about how not addressing it could limit me.
Yeah.
Right? Like how, and it hasn't limited me. You know what I mean? Like from reaching my max potential.
Yeah.
Because I'm still holding on to this baggage, right? It's over here, but it's still on me.
Still on you.
So it's still weighing me down.
Let
you
it
know
go.
what I mean?
Gotta
So
be able to let it go.
nah, this is good, man. This is good. Like, and that's what I want to bring to the people. Like this transparent, raw conversation.
Yeah.
People to show people, hey, behind it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we push, we grind. Our businesses are doing well. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, listen, if you want to get here and get past us, right?
Yeah.
There's some things you gotta address, or here's some tips, here's some keys, right? Let this be, you know, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? A raw conversation.
Yeah, I think it's powerful.
Yeah. Flawless Fitness. It's more than a brand. It's a movement.